Hi, and welcome to Pilates Done Right. My name is Melanie, and today I have a little workout for you, just a short pre-Thanksgiving, pre-holiday relaxation workout. Let's get started. I have my foot bar on high and 3 red springs on the Allegro too, so whatever you would use for your footwork. I'm just going to lay down here on the reformer. Get all straightened out. So we're starting with heels on the foot bar. In parallel, inner hip distance apart, feet are flexed. We'll take an inhale, and on the exhale, press away and bend. As I go here, just taking nice even breaths and controlling that carriage all the way back to the stoppers each time so it just gently touches. Whoops. And then I bump it. Last one. And then I'm bringing it down to the toes on the foot bar. And we want to get all 10 toes connected and the heels lifted just slightly here. Stretching away and bend. So here as I go out, we're lengthening the front of the body, trying to control. I know for me, I feel a weight shift in my legs. One will start the process and then it sometimes wants to switch to the other one. Just taking note of that in my body, and trying to distribute the weight evenly the whole way out and the whole way back in. Last one. And we'll connect the heels. Toes remain where they are. So now we're in Pilates V. Knees are as wide as the shoulders. Stretching away and bend. And as I extend, I'm working to zip the inner thighs together. Getting all the length here. One more. And in. We'll take it to heels wide on the foot bar. I'm going to go all the way out to the corners of the foot bar today. And we're taking nice external rotation all the way from the hips, through the knees, through the feet. This is kind of a wide squat we're doing here. Last one. All right, back to the toes on the foot bar in parallel and our hip distance apart again. We're going for calf stretch, stretching away and sinking the heels under the foot bar. And man, does that feel nice. Lifting up to the toes and lower. We'll do that one more time. Lift and lower. All the way out to the toes. And now I'm going for the running in place here. So just alternating, one knee bends and the other heel drops under the foot bar, all the way back out to the toes, and switch. And we're just making every effort to keep the hips stable so the abdominals are pulling in. And 2, switch. Last one, switch, all the way out to the toes, bend the knees, bring it in. Now my headrest is down. I'm going to take a couple of bridges here. It's important that the headrest be down for these and no cushion there or anything. So I'll just take an inhale. And as I exhale, I'm curling up, reaching long through the knees. Take a sip of air at the top and lengthening the spine one bone at a time, all the way back down. Again, rolling up. Working to stabilize the knees, keep reaching through them as we pull one bone at a time down, trying to create more length in between each vertebra. That felt good. I'm going to do one more. Rolling up. And just melting the spine down. You'll notice the carriage is staying home the whole time, so that's something to work for here. All right. So gonna roll up, drop one spring. So now if you're on the Allegra 2 or on 2 reds, you can do whatever is good for you for supine arm work. Just take a few reps here of some things. So let's bring the knees to tabletop. 90-degree bend at the hips, 90-degree bend at the knees. And I'm just going to start with a couple of ab curls. So from here, as I lower the arms, we're rolling up. As I lift, laying back down. And again. Ooh, feeling these today. As we go, so it's not about the front of the neck. The neck is definitely a piece of the puzzle, but most of the work needs to be coming from the abdominals. So you can imagine you're sliding your rib cage down toward the pelvis to lift. When you get up, your gaze should be roughly looking at your thighs. And lower, we're going to do 2 more. Whew, I'm starting to feel these. Well, I was feeling them the whole time. Last one. And up. Okay, resting the feet. And we're going right into feet and straps. That works for me with the way I have my straps set up and being on 2 reds here. So we're just going right into that. If you need to make a spring change or whatever, you can do that. I'll straighten myself out here a little bit. And we're just going for lower and lift. Now the range here is determined by how low we can go by keeping the upper body stable. So as soon as your abs and your back start to want to pop up, we want to keep within that range where that doesn't happen. So lowering only as far as I can stay stable in the carriage, and then lifting only as high as I can keep my hips from rolling up off. So right here, I'm in a hamstring stretch today. I'm a little tight. But it feels good, that stretch right there at the top. Very nice. Good, going right into circles, down through center, out, around, and up. Oh, this all feels so good. Working to make these circles even. And I'm just taking as much of a range as I can get. I want that full range of motion through my hips. But we do want to make sure we're still focusing on keeping the rib cage still and calm and the hips anchored. So only within that range of motion where you can keep your upper body stable. Last one in this direction. And reverse out, down and around, up through center. And we have 2 more. And last one. And now we've got options. I'm going to take an inner thigh stretch. We've got options. So the first and maybe the easiest is just to bend the knees in with the heels together like a butterfly. You can hold onto the ropes here and just kind of find, what feels good to you. You can rock back and forth a little bit if that feels good. So this is one option for an inner thigh stretch and just kind of a relaxation pose here. Another option, of course, also available, and we can just go through all of these because this is feeling really good, not gonna lie. So just letting the legs open out east and west. And this one, I have some clients who love it. I have some who don't like it. It just depends on the body. So if this is good for you, great. If not, that's okay. Whew. And the last one is, I think it's called the Russian kick here. So we would bend the right knee in and let the left leg extend out to the side. You want to keep your hips anchored on the carriage here, so it takes a little bit to find this one. Well, you can see me starting to shake here. Extend out. Now we'll bend the left knee and let the right leg extend out to the side. Again, keeping the hips anchored on the carriage, and totally fine to use your hands for support here. This is just about the stretch. And I feel like stretching is awful nice when we've got all the holiday stress happening. All right, coming out of the loops now. And I think today I'm feeling a little bit of rowing and some upper back work. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch it now to a red-blue. So if you're on a different kind of reformer, that would just be a red. I'm sorry, the red is a heavy spring and the blue is a medium spring. So a medium and a heavy. So now I'm facing this way toward the headrest. My feet are through the shoulder blocks. And I'm going to shorten my straps just a little bit here. You can also attach the handles, but basically we want to be able to use the short loops. I like to cross the straps for these rows, and then you also want to make sure you've got about a hand's distance behind you as you sit on the carriage. All right, so we're starting tall. Legs are out in front of you. If you need to bend them a little bit to make this happen or whatever you need to do, that's fine. I'm going to scoop and roll back, initiating that by drawing the belly back and the pelvis forward. Then we'll take wide rows. So that means the palms are facing down toward the floor and the elbows go more out to the side. And we're pulling those abdominals deep the whole time to maintain this position. We're in a roll down. And that extra little bit of weight here just feels nice for these rows. You can lighten it if it's too much for you, no problem. One more. Arms go straight and roll back up. Then I'm going to take a narrow version of the row. So now my palms are facing toward each other. Again, I'm sending my pelvis forward and rolling back, and we'll draw the elbows in closer by our body. And this is just a great series here too for tech neck, any of that, losing my elbows here, any of that desk work, kind of slouching over, and then we carry all of our stress in our shoulders. This is just a good place to work that out. One more. And roll back up. Good. Now I'm going to uncross the straps and drop the blue spring. So now I'm just on one heavy. If this is too much, you can also just go to one light. I'm going to stay tall here and just take some bicep curls. So as we go here, the elbows are high, parallel to the shoulders. And we're just curling those straps up toward either side of our head, our forehead. Well, I'm curling mine up to my forehead. And we have two more. And one. Good. All right. Chest expansion is next. So now my palms are facing down toward the floor. I'm sitting as tall as I can. And I'm just drawing those straps back by my side. Looking to the right, back to center, to the left, back to center. Send the straps forward. And again, this time we switch it, looking to the left, center, to the right, center, drawing it forward as we go, keeping the shoulders down and back so the chest is open here, looking to the right, center, left, center, forward. And again, drawing back, looking to the left, center, right, center, and forward. And I want to take two more versions here, because there's two that I love. Palms are facing toward each other, again, reaching straight out in front of us. And we're going to open the arms out to the side. Ooh, this is heavy today. If this is too much, you can again switch to that medium spring. We're not doing a ton of reps though, so do what feels good for your body. Ooh, I'm going to go for two more. Last one. Oh, hold on a sec. Okay, I'm good. Now, last one is bow and arrow. The actual name for this exercise is double arm alternating twist. Bit of a mouthful, so I use it just as bow and arrow for my clients. So what I'm doing is I'm drawing one elbow back and reaching the other hand forward and rotating through the spine. And then, of course, switching with each rep. Now, it's important to keep the hips pointing forward, so the rotation here needs to happen just through the upper half of your spine. And again, reaching forward through that front arm, so the rope will go slack. And we have one more to the left and forward. Good. Last things here is just a couple more stretches. So we're going to take Mermaid and Lunge. We'll start facing downstage. We're already on one spring, one heavy, and that's where we need to be for Mermaid. So you've got me here in the Z-sit position with my left shin against the shoulder blocks and my right leg kind of crossed in front of me. Totally okay here to just send your legs forward if this position isn't accessible to you. Right hand is on the foot bar, left arm is out to the side, and we're just reaching up and over for that nice lateral flexion through the spine. You find me a little bit out of breath here. And again, side bend up and over. Now I'm trying not to collapse into this, so really focusing on going up and over and reaching down through that opposite hip. And the last one here I'm going to take with rotation. So reaching up and over, I'll just round forward and take my free hand across the reformer and hold on to the other side of it and give myself a little bit of traction here. So nice round stretch. Whew. I'm going to bring it back just as far as the foot bar and take a little swan here. So I want to get a bit of extension for my upper spine. Didn't get a lot of that here. So this is a nice place to get just a little bit of that. Coming up into a swan, rounding back down. Two more. Lifting up, rounding forward. Last lift. Rounding forward. Then I'll come out of the rotation first, come up tall. Little counter stretch to the other side. Then I'll turn around. So now my right shin is up against the shoulder blocks and my left leg is crossed in front of me. Left hand on the foot bar, right hand out to the side. And again, side bending up and over. And up and over. Now for the rotation up and over. Rounding forward to find the other side of the reformer with my free hand. And then bringing it back to the foot bar for the swan. Lifting up, rounding forward, moving in and out of that just a couple more times here. Then we'll derotate, bring it back to tall, little counter stretch. And we're ready for lunge. So I'm just stepping off the front of the reformer. Now my left foot is on the shoulder block, and my right shin is just behind the bottom of the foot bar here. Knee is down on the carriage, and I'm just pressing the carriage back, but primarily sinking down into that stretch. So the carriage just needs to go back as far as to make it possible for me to really get down into that and get a good stretch through the front of the hip. And of course, this front right knee is bending as well to enable that. Lift the head up in alignment, Melanie. And bring it in. And again, sending it back, sinking into that stretch. Shoulders are down and relaxed. And of course, head up in alignment, even though I'm guilty of dropping it. Good, then we'll come to the other side. Even out. So now my left Shin is just behind the bottom of the foot bar, and my right foot is on the shoulder block. And here we go, sinking now down into this right hip. Feels good today too. If this is uncomfortable at all for your knee that's on the reformer, you can put a cushion under there. And also just think of putting a little bit more weight into your standing leg. Usually those adjustments can kind of work that out. Bringing it in, we'll take one more. And coming in. And we are finished. Thank you for joining. Thanks for watching. And I hope you have an absolutely wonderful Thanksgiving.